Hey, hey guys, how are you? Welcome back to another webinar with me, Kirsty. I'm just going to share the slides that we've got up for today. So, oh, wrong slide. I beg your pardon. Slide. So today we are doing a focus activity called Love and Relationships. So how are you all? I've felt better. I think today I am feeling a bit tired, and although I am quite happy working from home, today I feel very tired. What's the weather like where you are? Today in Rome it's quite cold if you are inside, but if you go outside into the sun, it'll probably be about 21, 22 degrees today. Who knows? So focus activity, love and relationships. Today we're going to be looking at relationship vocabulary, phrasal verbs, adjectives, and wedding traditions. Okay, so best friend or worst enemy? How would you describe your best friend? How would you describe your worst enemy? So I want you to think of some adjectives to describe either your best friend or your worst enemy. Okay, and note it in the comments section. So best friend could be fun, funny, for example. Worst enemy could be what could your worst enemy be? Your worst enemy could be evil. Okay, give me some adjectives to describe your best friend and your worst enemy, and put the notes in the comment section. Hey, Florian. Oh, cool. I've spoken to you before. How are you? I think there's like a delay between when I type a message and when I speak, and when you guys type a message and speak. Annoying. Yeah, you're right. Annoying. But is that a word you use to describe your best friend or your worst enemy? Because if your best friend is annoying, that's an interesting way to describe them. Okay. What other words can you use to describe someone? What about kind? So your best friend is maybe kind. Annoying for both. Right. I've got Florian. Who else? Or Florian. Who else have we got watching? We've got someone else. Make yourself known in the comments section. Okay. Okay. So, right. I'll give you some help. So we've got kind, maybe compassionate. Compassionate, confident for a best friend, yeah. Sorry, that's meant to be compassionate. Compassionate, like that. Okay. And friendly, of course, friendly. What about intelligent, maybe? Intelligent. Um, Someone who's there for you. Um, so friendly, reliable, a reliable person. Because you don't want to be you don't want to be best friends with an unreliable person. That's not helpful. Okay, helpful could be a good way to describe your best friend. What about worst enemy? Can you make a little list of what what attributes would not be good if we're talking about your worst enemy? Yeah, your worst enemy can be intelligent. Intelligent in a way that works against you. Yeah, you're right. And the worst enemy can be someone who works against you. Absolutely. Okay. Possibly, yeah, yeah. Yeah, true. True. And do you think your worst enemy can also be someone who is toxic? A toxic person. Toxic. Yeah, I think worst enemies are people who can be toxic. They might be intelligent. They actually might pretend, like people who are like actors. It's like people who pretend to be really nice, but actually, in reality, they are horrible. And I can tell if I'm speaking to somebody, I know if someone is being a good person or a bad person. Okay, good. Let's move on to the next page. Okay. Have you ever, right, before we practice making questions, I want you to look at these 4 phrasal verbs. Get on with, fall out with, have a disagreement or have an argument, make up with. Okay, what do these phrasal verbs mean? Yeah, dangerous for your health is someone who is toxic, but also toxic can be used to describe a substance, like a toxic substance. So it's something you cannot drink. So if you try to drink toilet cleaner, it's toxic for your health. It is bad. It can kill you. Okay, but toxic can also mean in the sense that if someone is not very nice to you, if someone is horrible to you, they can have a negative impact on your health. Yeah, get on with, make a new friend. Well, sorry. Get on with to get on with someone. Sorry, to get on with someone is it actually means to have a good relationship with. Okay, so for example, I get on with my brother. I get on with my brother. It means I have a good rapport with my brother. So to get on with someone is like to have a good rapport. Okay. It's been a while since I've done French, so pardon my pronunciation, but it's like entendre bien with someone, or what was it? I think is it that? I'm really sorry. It's been so long since I've done French. To fall out with, is like a break, but to fall out with means when you, oh, sorry, with your friend, your girlfriend, boyfriend, for example. Okay, so to fall out with your girlfriend or your boyfriend is like when you have an argument and you decide not to speak to each other. An argument and um, and stop speaking to each other. This can be for a short period of time or a long period of time. It's not specific. So, for example, the band Oasis, the famous British band Oasis. Well, Noel Gallagher and Liam Gallagher famously fell out with each other and they don't speak to each other anymore. They fell out. They fell out with each other. Noel and Liam fell out with each other. So they stopped speaking to each other. Okay, but to fall out with someone can also mean that like you don't speak to them for like a day, and then the next day you're cool. So it's like a personal thing, you know. Okay, next one, to have a disagreement, to have an argument. Okay, so it means like when you use harsh words with somebody, you 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 have a conversation which is heated. To have a heated conversation, or get angry with someone. Okay, disagreement and argument. Okay, and to make up with. What does to make up with mean? To make up with. The last one, to make up with someone. Oh goodness. Florian, I'm not sure what the weather in Lyon is like, but here it's cold. It's really cold in the house because in Italy we have cold floors. We don't have carpets in the house. It's like really, it's quite chilly here. To have a new friend, to make up, not quite, not quite. To make up with someone, is like to make peace with someone. To make up with someone is to make peace with them. So if you've had an argument with someone or you've fallen out with someone, to make up with them is when you reconcile. It's like to reconcile. I like to reconcile with someone. I hope that makes sense. Yes, exactly. Well done. It's like rebuilding the relationship. Good. And we say relationship. Relationship. A relationship is like a rapport, okay? But a relation, if you say a relation to me, I think you mean it's like a family member. A close relation equals like an uncle, e.g., an uncle or sibling, like a sister, sibling, maybe a close relation. Um, uh, it's quite common. If you have a relationship between two people, you've got a romantic relationship. Okay. With your boss, you can have a business relationship. Yeah, you can't use it like a shortcut. Unfortunately, no, no. You have business relationship. I wish you could. A business relationship. Okay. Good. Well done. Okay. Are you an item? Okay. Question. Um, are you an item? Is a way to say, are you together? It's like saying equals, are you together? Are you um, two people? Are you, let's say, two people who look like a couple? Two people who look like a couple together? That's it's a way to say, are you two together? Are but we say sometimes you might hear, are you an item? I don't know why we say it, but it's another way to say. Yeah. Single, dating, engaged, married, divorced, dead. Interesting. I like your take on this. Oh my god. Good, excellent. So you can also say I'm going out with them. So um, um, Ted uh, an item, it's like together. An item. Uh, Normally you can't say this person. So one person is not an item. An item is like an object. So, for example, this bottle of water is an item. If I go to the shop and buy biscuits or crackers or cheese or fish or something like that, that is an item. An item. It's an object, it's a product, okay, that I want to buy. So an item is usually something we use to talk about, yeah, like a ring, okay? An item. It's so item equals object, object or product, object, product, right? Okay, you're correct. You're correct. But if there is a couple, an item. I don't know why, but if you've got a couple together, they can be referred to as an item, an item. I don't know why, but it's just something we say. Okay, but it's nothing to worry about. It's just sometimes if someone says, "Are you an item?" what they mean is, are you and another person in a romantic relationship together? But equally, they might just say, are you guys together? Yeah, so but equally they'll just say, are you guys together? Yeah, it's like a joke. It's kind of yeah, it's like are you guys together is much more common. Are you guys together is much more common. Okay, good. And going out with, you could say Ted is going out with my mum. If I say Ted is going out with my mum, it means they're dating. It's like saying Ted and my mum are dating. Are dating, and you can say each other, it doesn't matter. You don't need to say each other. You can just say Ted and my mum are dating. I hope Ted isn't dating my mum. I don't know what my dad would say. Okay, good. Okay, do you like love stories? Think of your favorite couple from a book or film. Describe their love story using these phrasal verbs. Get to know, get together with, fall in love with, cheat on, break up with someone. Okay? So when you put this sentence together with phrasal verbs, you need to make sure that you put all the prepositions. Don't forget a preposition. It's really important. If you forget a preposition word, it changes the meaning of the sentence completely, completely. And you need to say someone. Okay? You also need to put someone. If you don't say someone, like someone's name or an indirect object pronoun, it doesn't make sense. Okay, so we've got, yeah, Romeo and Juliet. You could also we can talk about famous love stories like you could talk about Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie or something like that. Okay, or think of actors and actresses or like famous relationships in history. Okay, it doesn't matter. But what I'd like you to do is think of I know the resume. Yeah, you mean the summary. You know the summary. I say I know the summary or the synopsis. Sorry. You can say summary or synopsis. Yeah, go tell me the story about two families. So tell me what happens roughly using these phrasal verbs. If you don't know or make a mistake, just invent the synopsis. Well done, well done. Okay, just if you don't know, just go ahead and invent just invent if you can't remember. Okay, I'm not interested in facts here. I'm not the police. I just want you to use the grammar appropriately. Okay, so tell me what order things happen and using these phrasal verbs. Okay, I'll give you a couple of minutes to do that. Take your time. So with Romeo and Juliet, they must have seen each other first, because you can't really have a love story unless two people see each other. They see each other and think, ooh, ooh. And then they start to develop strange feelings for each other. So first of all, they would need to see each other. Okay. So presumably they would then need to get to know each other. So yeah. So they need to get to know each other first. Get to know someone's really important, because if you don't get to know them, excuse me, if you don't get to know them, how do you know if you are in love with them? They might just be all right by the end of a first date. Okay. And then maybe at the end of the first date, they might they felt in love. It would be they fell in love. They fell in love, because the verb is to fall in love. Okay, that's the verb, to fall in love with someone. Okay, but to felt is the past tense. Is past, and the verb is to feel. Okay, so felt is the past tense of the verb to feel, but fell is the past tense of the verb to fall, right? No, I imagine there probably wasn't a cheat on situation. Well, you hope not. You hope not. You would think so. That you would think not. Sorry. I'll write that. You wouldn't think so. You wouldn't think so. You wouldn't think so, or you wouldn't say so, or you could say I doubt that very much. Or simply, I hope not. I hope not. Okay. No, that would be that would be a weird twist, a plot twist. Plot twist. That would be quite a plot twist if Romeo or Juliet cheated on one of them, on each other, you know? Like, so if Romeo cheated on Juliet, so what good question. What if Romeo cheated on Juliet? That is a hypothetical question. But it would, if you wanted to ask a hypothetical question for something that cannot be changed, then you would say, what if Romeo had cheated on Juliet? Or equally, what if Juliet had cheated on Romeo? What if Juliet cheated on Romeo? So this is a possible hypothetical situation. So this one is a possible hypothetical situation, okay? The mind state Juliet tried to die. Okay, yeah. What if Romeo had cheated on Juliet? So this one is impossible. It's kind of it's had cheated. It's like is it plus parfait in French? Plus parfait. It's like it's something you cannot change. So it's it's a hypothesis, but it's based on something that's impossible, right? Oh no, Florian, you have got a very sick sense of humor. I like it though. It's a very kind of sick sense of humor, but yes, that is one way to pour cold water on a hot relationship. Okay. In English, we can say to pour water on on a situation. It's like it can be like to dampen something, dampen the mood. Um, and so to dampen the mood is like to make it go a bit kind of wet and okay. Okay. Can you think of something else relating to the phrasal verbs? Can you think of a sentence using the phrasal verbs together? Yeah, so she pretends. So Juliet makes believe. Okay, to make believe is. I understood what you said. It's not quite how we translate it in English. The verb is to pretend or to fake. But pretend would be better okay, so Juliet pretends to be dead. Juliet pretends to be dead. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, they wanted to get together. They also wanted to be together. So to be together, literally, it's very simpler to be together. Yeah, they wanted to get together, and ultimately they wanted to be together. Um, okay. Do you think Romeo and Juliet broke up? Ever broke up? I'll ask this question in a different way. Do you think Romeo and Juliet wanted to break up? Okay, let's move on to the next slide. Well done, Florian. Florian, can you tell me what some of the wedding traditions are in France? Okay, so what are weddings like in France? Describe a typical wedding in France. What's it like? Maybe the traditional wedding is different from modern weddings. Okay, so maybe you might need to describe a traditional wedding versus a modern wedding. Do people in France still want to get married? Are weddings still popular in France? Or are or would you say in France people are more pragmatic about marriage these days? Is it better just to live together? Um, Tell me what you think. Okay. So maybe some of the wedding traditions in the UK, for example, lots of people are. Lots of people still want to get married, but equally, lots of people are being a bit more pragmatic and they decide just to live together. Okay, okay, before the mayor. Okay. So does the mayor carry out the ceremonies, or do you mean the minister, like the religious minister, or like priest? Yeah, yeah, romantic. Do you think people still want to get married? Do you think there is still an appetite for marriage in France? Sometimes. Okay. Ah, okay. So it's actually the mayor that performs the ceremony in a church. Interesting, interesting. Because we in the UK we've got the registry office. You've got the registry office, so it's somebody who it's essentially someone who works for the council who has the administrative powers. Ah, okay. Ah, so it's like yeah, it's like the so it's like town hall. Yeah, we say yeah, so it's kind of like the town hall. Town hall. You can say town hall or city hall. Town hall, or you can say city hall. I've heard people say that. Um, or uh, city chambers. City chambers maybe, or that's in Edinburgh. However, it's the mayor's office. What you said was perfect. I think the registry office is how we describe um, the place where you register a birth, you register a death, you register a marriage. Okay, so to register birth, death, marriage, maybe divorce as well in some situations. Okay. Okay. Um, but so finally, do you think there is still an appetite in France for? Do people still want to go and get married? The wedding party, yeah, the wedding party, the wedding party, yeah, wedding. So not wending, the wedding. Oops, yeah. We say oops. We say oops like that. Wedding. Good. Excellent. Okay, Florian, we will have to stop there because we have run out of time. Thank you so much for your hard work. Well done for participating. Guys, if you are watching, feel free to do some work at home by looking up words you don't know. And I hope to see you again on a different video. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, guys.